Yo, sup everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast, back after a 2-week hiatus. Thank you for being patient, joining us here again in studio. This episode is brought to you by Continental Belts and Hoses. You know, when you're under the hood doing your maintenance of your car, you don't always think about your belts and your hoses, but because you're thinking about oil, you're thinking about tires, you're thinking about the in-your-face consumables, but belts and hoses can dry, they can crack over time, and if they do, you can end up with coolant leaks, oil leaks, fuel leaks, or worse, the car could throw a belt, and if it's an interference motor, you got a big problem. Continental belts are OE in tens of millions of Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, and GM vehicles that roll off the assembly line. They're also OE, that's original equipment, on the majority of BMWs and Volkswagens. Now, Continental is launching the aftermarket multi-V belt with the OE pedigree. It's their OE Technology Series belts that are fanatically engineered for perfect fit, form, and function. And Continental has an OE Technology Series multi-V belt for 98% of the vehicles on the road in the US and Canada. Hey, you get enough surprises working on cars and trucks. A belt should not be one of them. Go with the Continental OE Technology Series multi-V belt, the belt with the OE pedigree. Get the full story at oetechnologyseries.com. We are also brought to you by Migliori Luxury Car Care Products. Migliori is known for making the best of the best when it comes to car care. Their product line is handmade and poured right here in the USA in my home state of Connecticut. Migliori's Strata coating is a ceramic coating treatment you can easily apply yourself. It adds a ton of gloss, lasts over a year, and keeps your car looking great for longer in between washes. It's extremely hydrophobic, meaning water just sheets right off, making maintenance so much easier. Strata coating has over 100 positive reviews on Amazon. If you need vetting, with spring right around the corner, you can use code TST at checkout at miglioriwax.com. That's MIGLIORE wax.com for 10% off your order. miglioriwax.com. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, the Brio Beardscape. Mine is back in the game. I brought it to the East Coast with me so I could look good on my wedding day, and whether you're at home or on the road, the Beardscape has you covered. You know, just about every guy has had a bad experience with a bad trimmer. You know, the kind you buy at the drugstore, they're like, you know, it's either the blades go bad or the motor dies or it's just a disaster. But I've been using the Beardscape for over a year now. It's reliable, it's dependable, it's tough. The motors has got a lot of power. You don't get those tugs. The blades stay really sharp. You don't have to oil them as often as the steel blades because it's got a ceramic blade. It stays sharper longer than steel. It's great. It's powerful. One charge lasts a long time. I've been using it for like over a year. Like I said, it's rad. It may be time for you too to upgrade to the Beardscape. Go to Brio for Life. That's Brio, the number 4life.com, and use code SMOKING at checkout. Code SMOKING at checkout to get the best price on the internet on the Brio Beardscape. All right, on this episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast, we got Carlos Lago in studio. He used to be at Motor Trend forever ago, but he's now, what is it, what's the word?
Editorial features.
The manager of editorial features editor?
Sure.
Features, Edmunds, Carlos Lago, the Smoking Tire Podcast. What up, bitches? It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. We got a good one today. It's the afternoon. It's a blustery day. It's like some Winnie the Pooh shit up in this bee. And we got Silos Ligo.
Hello.
Carlos Lago of Edmunds is in the house, and he brought more baked goods. Damn it!
Transported them here. My wife prepared them.
He brought baked
it's fun
goods
to watch.
last
Like
time.
you publish like your CrossFit adventures on Instagram, and
CrossFit.
whatever you're lifting. You're lifting weights.
There's a lot of Lululemon happening on this.
She produces them. I just try to get them.
Distribute them?
The problem is I have real bad sweet compulsive food issues. Like if there's a bag of M&Ms, I will just eat them.
Well, you're like a normal person where if you have self-control at the store, you're fine. You get those self-control for that 20 minutes, you're good for the whole rest of the week.
Yes.
I have that too. And then I got a Vinny. And a Vinny is a very useful housemate that comes to live in your house, and he can work on Lamborghinis, and he feeds cats on time. He takes the trash out. He is extremely responsible. He doesn't drink, and he doesn't do drugs. He fucking bakes. baking is his jam. He had like a intestinal issue for like a couple of years, like 5 years, like a long time, and couldn't eat like any of the things he wanted to fucking eat.
Yeah.
So he finally got better, and he gets up at 5 a.m. He busts his fucking balls at the gym. He works his ass off. He looks just like Mark Wahlberg doing it. Seriously, look at Vinny. Vinny looks like Mark Wahlberg.
Totally.
Yeah. He go out. He wears the Wahlburgers hat. It's amazing.
That's funny.
Yeah. You go to a strip club with Vinny in the Wahlburgers hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
dude.
gets it. Okay.
Yeah. You got to put a Rolex on him.
You have to.
Yeah.
Totally.
But his vice now is fucking baking.
Yeah.
And so there's always cookies and shit in my house now. It's fucked up, and you're not helping.
I have an issue. Well, I will eat sweets until
what is that photograph, Zach? Is that on? That's just on Vinny's Instagram, or is someone really doing that?
That's on his Instagram, but I think it's probably
That's got to be Photoshop.
Yeah,
it looks like
something you
someone fucking launch ramped bulldozers, and I was distracted because I have ADD. Sorry, Carlos.
No, saying I will genuinely eat sweets like Oreos. I will eat Oreos until they taste bad and my stomach hurts, and I'll keep eating them.
Oh.
It's an actual problem.
That's usually a weed-related issue.
So I just tell my wife, like, hey, if you have candy in the house, I can't
We're gonna need
know
to get
about
you
it,
on a different strain,
or else I find it and I eat it.
Yeah.
It's bad news.
Yeah, you got to have self-control at the store. It's way easier to have self-control at home.
Yeah, I actually went to a point where I was like, I need to eat healthy, so I would just buy bags of raw broccoli, and that was the only
That's your
snackable
snack?
thing I would have in the house.
Oh, yeah.
So if I was
You'll
hungry,
eat that shit.
I'll eat raw broccoli.
Yeah.
It's better than not eating.
Yeah, you
True.
make a little balsamic. You fucking little.
No,
dip,
I'd
just
open the
raw
bag
dogs?
and just yeah.
Even I can't do
Yeah,
that.
rough.
This was before the married life, before dating life. Now I have delicious food at home.
Oh,
and
yeah.
delicious cooked broccoli.
I'm really worried, actually, and I'm actually, with the exception of fucking Vinny, I'm really trying to, because you just got married as well. Did you get worried about, like, because I kind of worked pretty hard to look, relative to me, good in my suit. And I'm really worried about getting like whatever the marriage version is of like the freshman 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where
The
it's
complacent.
like, yep, locked it in, don't have to put that suit on, and what do we got to eat?
No, I mean, we've been working out together for a long time, actually. So we go to a gym nearby that I won't name, even though I'd like to plug them. But it's nice to have a little privacy. I guess.
No, you don't need
actually,
randos.
we're on Instagram all the time there. This gym in El Segundo called Games Time Strength, and we've been training there for a long time.
You guys hear that? You guys hear that? So when do you go to the gym?
No, that's like one of the things that we do together and really enjoy doing together.
Yeah.
So as long as you enjoy doing that together,
Yeah.
that helps keep each other in check.
My girl's workout routine is crazy. She busts her balls. She does like Pilates 4 days a week when she's up in San Francisco at work, and then her trainer comes over on the weekends, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday when she's home. So she does training 7 days a week, and they work out for like 90 hard minutes. She's doing one-handed push-ups.
Yep, that's good.
With her feet on the Bosu ball.
Yeah.
They go out on the beach and they do sprints in the sand.
That sounds hard.
It's fucking really hard.
Sounds really hard.
And she's ridiculous. And I don't think she gets mad. She's 42.
Yeah.
She's not like, she looks amazing. She legit has like a 25-year-old body on a 42-year-old girl, and she earns that shit.
Yeah.
She works. It's crazy.
That's what you got to do. Mm-hmm. But that sounds really hard, like running on the beach and all that.
Super
I
hard.
say just go to a room and move weights. It's easy.
It's super hard.
It's really easy.
They're both good for you. They're both difficult.
They're both.
Yeah.
I mean, I do this on an elliptical. I go nowhere.
Yeah. Oh,
See, that's hard
Did that
because of
in
boredom.
general.
I can't do that.
Well, I was for a very long time. I rode my bicycle, like kind of mountain bike. I rode like 30, 40 miles.
Yeah.
But I ended up from like leaning over the handlebars. I got tendonitis in both elbows from it.
Yeah.
And I've been getting over that for like a year.
Oh my God.
So I had PRP in this elbow, which is, you heard of that?
Is that the injection, right?
That's where they take your blood out, spool that shit up in a centrifuge, and then shoot the platelets back in, and it like gets real swollen, but then like draws all your to heal it. Even that takes like 5 weeks.
Oh God.
And then on this one, I just had something called EPAT, which I don't know what it's electrical something therapy. It might be electrical platelet attraction therapy. Can you look up what EPAT is? Mm-hmm. But it was great. It's like an ultrasonic jackhammer. So
Okay.
it feels like Like kind of like the pulsing of a tattoo, but without the stabbing.
Interesting.
And kind of like a really tough deep tissue massage.
Yeah. Really small though, really fine point.
Yeah. Like imagine having one of those, those little things that like are like the glass breaking mirrors.
Oh, sure.
Imagine having one of those that went dunk 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 on.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, but they're not injecting you, and it kind of feels right away. That's PRP, Zach. Did you find EPAT?
Oh, I thought you wanted to look up PRP.
No, EPAT is what it was called. EPAT therapy. Yeah, that. What is that? What's it stand for? Do you know? Shockwave therapy. It's not as painful as it sounds. It's actually I found it to be moderately pleasant.
Shockwave therapy sounds cool.
As long as it's not like in your brain.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I had electrostim. Have you ever had that?
No, what's that?
When I hurt my spine, I burst discs twice in my spine. I've had two
bad. What have you been doing, man?
Dude, my body's fucked.
What's going on?
Driving. So much driving for so many years. Yeah, I was doing
one was Baja, right?
The initial injury was Baja, spine compressions, and then I continued to drive 100,000 miles a year. So the electrostim is literally where they put leads on you like a defibrillator pretty much, and they just slowly turn up the juice, and it's like a weaker version of sticking your finger in an outlet.
Gotcha.
I find that to be very unpleasant. I don't like it at all.
I stuck a key in a light socket when I was a little kid. That was very unpleasant. Yeah.
But the EPAT, I've had 3 treatments. It's a third of the price of PRP, and I think I can almost say definitively that it works.
Good.
So that's good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
It's crazy you've had all those effects from driving. I mean, I get Baja, but what I get is if I lay flat, my right foot ticks over to the right way more. Yeah. Because that's how I drive. Right? So, my heel on the ground and right foot over on the gas.
So I listed off a bunch of negative effects. I have a weird kind of positive effect.
Yeah.
I had a custom set of boots made for like hiking boots, right? And they're kind of like these like crazy like buffalo leather joints, like for like this thing I did with my dad. And you have to measure from your toe, like kind of rings around your foot all the way up to your knee, because they're tall boots. They're for like walking in muck and shit.
Okay.
My right calf is 1 1/4 inches bigger than my left calf from driving, and like I have like a muscle on the front. It's not from the actual calf muscle, but it's from the muscle on the front, and it's the muscle that pulls your foot off of the brake pedal, and blips the throttle. So I have a fucking muscle right here that's so big I have a different sized boot.
First time I went to drift school, I had cramps that night in that muscle from like lifting your because you're doing so many clutch kicks and you're holding your foot up. It's really strange like use of your foot.
Yeah.
Because that muscle is tiny.
It's a really bizarre muscle, and on me, that muscle is ridiculously strong.
You got to balance it out. You got to do that maneuver on like some weights, devise some contraption with bands to balance
I've always
it out.
wanted to go. I would love to. Maybe I'll call up Pat Long or one of those guys and do one of the racing driver workouts. I've always really wanted to see what that workout is about.
Or you could develop a patent.
I'm sure they have. Someone made a video. Didn't someone make a racing driver workout?
Yeah, but we didn't make any money off that video.
I'm hosting this bitch like Alyssa Milano.
Imagine though,
bro, my Lululemon budget is not high enough.
Have you watched Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart go work out with pro athletes, and like he'll bring Conan or he'll bring The Rock or something. Yeah. It's very funny.
Is it?
Because he's in good shape, but then they go like work out with the NFL dudes, and Kevin is just making jokes the whole time. It's real. No, funny.
My trainer came over today right before this, and I was like, now shout out Nab Fitness on Instagram. Nick Bustos, if you're in LA and you want an awesome, really fun meathead trainer to fucking work you out and beat the shit out of you, shout out to him.
Nice.
But he came over today and he was like, "Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I was benching 170 or free pressing 170." And I was like, "What is that?" It's 170 pounds in each arm.
Oh.
Pressing.
That's too much. That's a lot.
Well, pull up a picture of him, Nab Fitness on Instagram. It makes total sense when you see what he looks like.
Just the size of a house.
Oh, he's the best. Yeah. Is it? Oh, there he is, Nick Bustos. Follow this fool on Instagram, everybody.
Oh my God, I can see him from here.
Yeah, no, he's a proper athlete. Yeah, he's serious.
Yeah.
And the first time we ever worked out together, he took me to Gold's Gym in Venice, the famous Gold's Gym.
Yeah.
And I walk in the door to meet him, and I was so self-conscious. I hated gyms.
Yeah.
I've gotten kind of over that now.
Yeah.
But I walk in, and motherfucking Billy D. Williams is on the treadmill.
No way.
And I was like, shit.
That's awesome.
What is going on here?
I mean, I guess that's why you go to that gym, though.
Totally.
That's the scene, right?
There were signs up everywhere that said no Instagram. It was very funny.
That's
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's very good. I bet the first year
back
was rough.
since. I have felt so uncomfortable. I was like, Nick, we're not going back here. I think maybe we should start going back there for shits and giggles.
Hell yeah.
I don't feel weird anymore at the gym. Yeah, we should.
It's something you got to get over. You also have to find a good gym that supports like.
Well,
a
my
positive
first gym was great. You know what it was? It was fucking Average Joe's gym from Dodgeball.
Yeah.
That was my first gym, and it was the best.
Yeah.
It was the best. And now my gym is all senior citizens. It's in like the edge of Beverly Hills, and it's got all old people.
It's empty by 3:00 in the afternoon.
It's so great.
But
there's all these like really old like Rollses and Bentleys from the 90s that are there because they have like aquatics and shit. It's so fucking funny.
That's good. That's good.
Oh man. So how's Edmunds?
It's
Edmunds good.
Yeah, we can talk cars now.
We can.
I guess.
I mean, it doesn't. I'm not in a rush. Hannah's fucking like I was saying. Hannah's flight was delayed, so I got all the time in the world.
Excuse me.
Your
Sorry about
cough
that.
is killing me.
I'm trying
buddy.
to turn away from the mic and make sure.
Yeah,
I
don't give our mic aids, please.
Oh, okay. Might be late.
Is Edmunds treating you well?
Edmunds is treating us great. You guys already talked about Supra at length. That went up.
But you're here now. I just
right?
talked about. I didn't talk about it with someone else who just drove it. I talked about it. Zach was a good sounding board as always,
but I've not driven it.
But he didn't drive it.
Okay, I got some Supra thoughts.
Let's hear them.
And I've written a story. I've done a video, but like I still don't feel like we've talked enough Supra.
Well, there's a lot of things to talk about. A lot of angles. I have new developments as well. I think. But you first.
It's a good car.
I think it's a great car. I think it's lovely.
Everything's good about it.
It's objectively very good.
Absolutely.
I don't think we can play that, dude.
We're not playing it.
Okay, cool.
I'm just showing that he has a video.
I think we're getting a lot of trouble if we fucking play that. You know what else I liked a lot? Shenandoah Circuit. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was strange.
When we pulled in and the guard was all like, "Oh, you're on Shenandoah," I was kind of like, "Wah wah."
Yeah.
And then I actually kind of thought it was fun.
It was really fun.
It looked like a smoother Streets of Willow.
Yes.
A
lot more
better tarmac.
Yeah, a lot more elevation. A consistent surface.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
But even they coned off quite a few areas of it.
Well, they coned off the carousel and the ski jump.
Okay.
Which, listen, did you go see what those areas
No,
are?
but if it's called a ski jump, I'm curious.
There's an onboard video of Jack driving a McLaren around that track, and both of those are really appropriately named sections. The carousel is an actual replica of with the
really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
of the Nürburgring.
Yeah, so you don't want to.
And the ski jump is a fucking jump.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And so it's for the best.
That's I could see
Streets
why
has
they did
a-
that.
You can handle it. I could handle it.
But it could
Some
go
others
wrong.
can handle it.
Sure.
Somebody could have a real big problem.
That was kind of the amazing thing about you were on the wave before me.
Yeah.
That was the amazing thing about the event is a lot of these events are you show up to the track and it's just kind of lead follow, you follow behind. The drive instructor sets pace, blah blah blah. Here it was like the car's there and they're like, yeah, go for it.
It was the best.
Have fun.
We're gonna give you some breakfast.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna give you 6 hours of open track time.
Drive as much
Enjoy
as you want.
yourself. That's the
awesome.
jam
Yeah, it
right
was
there.
sweet, and that track was not complicated enough that you spent all your time learning it.
Yeah.
But it was complex enough where it had like a bunch of different variety of corners that you could put the car in interesting situations.
second-
Yeah,
third gear?
I also think you could slide it at a safe.
Oh, yeah.
Like the slidey sections were safe.
Yes.
For the most part for sliding. Whereas if we were actually on the big track, like there's only a couple areas you want to slide and there's close walls to them. So like
mostly third
I'm
gear.
glad that I got to it's third gear is the
Mostly.
gear.
Yeah,
Even on kind of a hairpinny slide, third gear is the gear.
But even on the front straight, I got to the point where I was shifting into 6, probably like 300 RPM prematurely.
Yeah.
But like, I would do it because like, I'm in 6th gear. Okay, sweet. You know?
Well, all right.
I would kind of bang the rev limiter once or twice in 5th.
Yeah.
I never, on those types of events, I never push the braking zone at the end of that front straight. It's just, I got nothing to prove, and so I always kind of give it a little test. Because you could have a bad day one of those.
Oh, totally. I think, why I was so
Did
excited
they give you
to
new
try it.
pads?
I don't know.
How were the brakes on
They
track?
were running fine.
Okay, cool.
So maybe.
Well, ours at the beginning of the day, I drove 4 different Supras.
Yeah.
And not to because I've said this, so I don't want to dominate too much. I want to get your thoughts.
No.
Like, they did all feel different.
Okay.
And I think they all felt different because they were driven by different folks.
Yeah.
You know.
Different wheels and tires, different brakes.
Yeah, like there were some
Same
people
tires,
who were like, not pushing the car,
Yes.
and there was
Yes.
other people who were. So,
Yes.
so I thought that at the end of the day, you could tell the cars that had been driven harder than others.
Yeah. I tried to do some challenging braking, and I did get a little like pedal softness, but not a ton.
But they're running stock pads and fluid.
Yes,
If
yes.
you were actually going to go to a track day, you'd
Yeah.
spend the $400 on pads and
you
fluid.
put dot
and
4 in there, you get some good.
that's
pads
kinda
on
like a
there.
given.
Yeah, but like considering the stock street configuration, that thing ran well.
held good,
real well.
Yeah, engines were fine. I didn't have gearboxes shitting out. I didn't.
Nope.
Did you see any cars break? I didn't see.
I didn't see any
break.
cars break. I would occasionally get like the transmission wouldn't allow a really aggressive 3.2 downshift when I was like just on the edge, and that would be a little frustrating.
Where were you going to second? Over the Omega or around the?
It was that left turn complex
around
So
the flag stand?
I think so.
I kept it in third
in
there.
third? Yeah.
Well, that was my slidey corner. So I
Okay.
kept it in third, entered it hot.
Yeah, and then slide around that corner.
Yeah, because I kept trying to nail.
Yeah.
There's this sort of downhill kind of Bathursty transition.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So I
Yeah.
spent the entire second half of the day trying to link that.
Sort that up. Yeah.
And I stopped when I got it once. I go, okay,
Cool, done.
Put me in a car, send me home.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if I keep going, this is gonna get bad.
Yeah, totally. But like, I think the real attribute of that car.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Zach's got it up. Got it pulled.
Oh, there
up.
you go.
There's the little downhill Bathursty section there. To
Yes.
the right there. So
Yeah.
you came up from the lower left from
Yeah.
the 7 or 8 o'clock, and then you made the left around the hairpin in the middle, and then back. Yeah.
Is that no? I don't think that's right. I think the section I'm talking about, or one that I'm thinking about at least, is if you go left, if you scroll left, and so that top corner, you'd power slide the hell out of the car.
Well, that's like a
through there.
fourth gear
that
corner.
Was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you'd come down through the straightaway, down a little bit
Down
further,
left, Zach?
down left.
Oh, that's all I got. They took a bad
Oh, that's
picture.
all. Okay. Well, anyway, there was another complex where you'd like enter in third gear, hard on the brakes, but it was this kind of this. If you can maintain the same steering angle into the car, but the road would change like crazy as you went around, and you drop back down. It was before the.
It's like over crest kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That
could
was
ride the
lovely as
curb
well.
and
Yeah.
Rotate the car all the way in through that. It was a ton.
I thought
of
they
fun.
did a really nice job. What is the gap of time in between you driving an M2 and driving a Supra?
I haven't driven an M2 competition.
Have you driven a regular M2?
It's been years.
Like I drove one like 2 years ago.
years. Yeah.
So I can't tell which is better.
So the thing is, I got out of that Supra the first time, and I was like, okay, yeah, obviously BMW shifter, obviously all that stuff. But it also kind of reminded me, the way it enters oversteer, the way it rotates, kind of reminded me of M cars.
Yeah.
The way they do it. Because, I mean, no surprise, it's all the same hardware. But that same...
Bozy on Twitter was posting earlier, like, apparently, like, because we got told this story of Tada-san met with the guy from BMW. They decided they wanted to build a sports car. They decided on the powertrain. They decided on the hard points.
Yeah.
And then they parted ways and came back together only 5 years later.
Okay.
And like they didn't see each other's cars.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it seems that they share like 95%
Really?
of the suspension components.
Yeah. Yeah, my understanding is that they decided all the hard points, and then Toyota was able to basically use the BMW parts catalog to put the stuff they wanted in there.
Okay, so
to tune it as they see fit. So I mean, they swear up and down, all the Toyota engineers, that they haven't been in a Z4, or they weren't in a Z4 during
maybe
development.
they weren't.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
do you think they just ended up choosing the same stuff as the Z4?
I mean,
like they use a lot of same stuff as the Z4.
I mean, maybe that's the right hardware for the. I mean, it could be stuff where coincidence is easier than conspiracy.
True.
You know, I don't know. I take them at face value with that stuff, but
I don't think I'm not necessarily going for a conspiracy, but I do
Yeah.
think that it is likely, if not totally possible,
Yeah.
that they would do everything they can to try and press a difference between the cars.
You know,
when maybe the difference is small. I haven't driven a Z4 either, so I
me
can't
neither.
tell you
Yeah.
how similar it is. Maybe I don't know if I spoke with anybody at my Wave who did drive a Z4.
Yeah, well, we've had one guy at the office who's driven it, but I haven't chatted with him about that since.
And even those ones that they did drive, weren't they prototypes? They were like camoed
I
up
want to
and
say
shit. They
no.
weren't
The
like.
one he drove, it was like a European press trip.
I haven't even.
Yeah, we
can you
haven't
give
had
me
one
a
in the
picture,
office.
Zach, of what the new Z4 looks like? Come to think of it, I'm not even sure I've really seen a lot of.
Looks good with camo.
I remember seeing a picture of like an orange one at some point, but I didn't like dwell on it really. I mean, it does look different. Looks a lot like the Mercedes SL. It looks like you took an M2 nose and stuck it on a Mercedes SL.
Yeah,
frankly.
that front fender and the kind of the scoop in there. Yeah.
I think it looks distinctly different.
Oh God, yeah, it looks different.
Yeah, but it looks a lot.
I think it looks terrible.
I'm not. It looks like maybe a little Viper, maybe a little SL, but it's mild.
It's out there.
You know, the Supra's better.
You're much more politically correct.
You know, these cars have weird proportions. I mean, there's no other way around it. It's a super short
really
wheelbase,
small
and really wide.
Yeah,
you know,
we pulled up on the last show a picture of the FT1 concept, and it's like. The FT1 concept is the size of an LC500.
Yeah, it's a long
it's
car.
Big.
Great dash to axle. Like
and they took a foot out of that.
All those design elements work on that profile.
But they had, they were sort of obligated, weren't they, to build a car that splits the difference between 86 and LC500, and they basically did that.
Yeah, that's where they kind of end up. And he give you the whole Porsche Boxer or Cayman?
Yeah, they tried to sell me that. Yeah. I didn't buy it.
Oh yeah,
I think that because the obvious direct competition is the M2, but he doesn't want to bring up a BMW as the direct competition. It's in his interest and BMW's interest to say we're going to go after Porsche. But I think even though if there's a little bit of crossover in the pricing, and only just a little bit, if any.
What M2 comp is what, 60?
An M2 comp is 60.
Yeah.
A loaded Supra is 57. Oh. Can you even get into a Cayman for under 60?
Base Cayman is like 60.
Yeah, but
Cayman S is 70.
Yeah, so it's realistically a lot more money for a Cayman. Mm-hmm. And even if there's some similarity in price, and even if Toyota says we're going to go after Porsche, are you the customer? Do you want a mid-engine experience? Do you want a front-rear experience? Like what? Yeah. These are different experiences.
A distinct handling experience. Also,
even if the
do you want
lap
a car
times
that
are the
sounds
same.
great?
Yeah, that too.
That
too. Yeah. But I mean, even if the lap times are the same, the way it feels doing it is going to be completely different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I liked how you could get to the limit.
Oh yeah,
and kind of play in that area safely.
That was I think the immediate confidence I had in that car was probably the most impressive thing. Like I hopped in that, I put it in traction mode, did a session, came back in, turned it right off, and was like, I'm good.
Yeah, you
I'm
go full off in a second because it's got like that nice even torque curve. It's not a pain in the ass.
Really smooth.
I wish the ratio was like smaller.
The ratio of
the steering. Imagine.
Imagine the ratio of diameter.
No, not the size of the wheel. Okay. The ratio of the steering.
Yeah.
Like when you got into slides, like I found, maybe I'm spoiled by supercars, which I might be, but like a lot of counter steer motion. Like I'm thinking, like, what if it had like a Grand Sport kind of ratio,
quicker ratio,
a little bit.
I wish I had a smaller wheel. So
probably fixable.
When I asked the chief engineer. And I was like, talk to me about the wheel size. And he says, it was determined by airbag performance.
Oh.
And then I said, well, would you have made it smaller? And he said, I would have made it smaller, if not for airbag performance.
Yeah, because changing the size of the wheel is like a kind of a cheaty way of fake changing the ratio. Yeah. It worked really well. In my C5 Corvette, I went from the stocks giant fucking bus wheel on that thing to like a 350 millimeter Sparco. And it completely... Like, it made the steering feel so direct.
I forget if it was Camaro or Corvette, but during a mid-cycle update, they did a very similar thing. Shrunk the steering wheel.
Camaro sounds very likely in the 2013 update when they launched the ZL1.
Yeah, I'm fuzzy on details, but I mean, that was a very distinct or very specific choice they made to make the car feel more nimble.
You should stop doing heroin. Maybe you'd be less fuzzy on
better
details.
memory.
Yeah.
But it's so fun.
But you guys.
You know what's more fun than knowing which year had the cycle update? Heroin.
I'm telling you, if we make it...
TST does not endorse the use of heroin.
If we make it to 75, dude. If we make it to 75, we're all going to go live on this show. Heron. It's happening.
Be the quietest show in the world.
Live stream.
It'll probably be our highest rated show.
You know what kills me though about the Supra isn't the car itself. It's this crazy reaction online that we've seen. I mean, I came back Sunday. I was like lying on the bed, delirious from the flu, and I'm like, I'll do an Instagram like Q&A. Hey, ask questions about the Supra. Everybody's first thing everybody wants to do is say, "Oh, you mean the BMW?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, good job. You said the thing. Like you
got it.
You made the joke that everybody makes. Like, awesome.
But that person was first.
Oh. But people are like so excited to dump on this thing because it's not a Mark IV Supra.
Yeah.
And that I don't understand.
Where were they when there was a Mark IV Supra?
Right?
Why didn't they buy it? No, because it was really expensive.
And what kills me is like, hey, this car's good whether it has a Toyota badge, a BMW badge, a Honda badge. Like whether.
Well, look, did you watch? Was it John Oliver? You ever watch Adam Ruins Everything?
Oh yeah,
Adam Ruins Sports was or football was a good one.
Sure.
And he basically talks about the fact that you're cheering for a logo and a uniform, and that the team itself is completely fluid, and you're not really allegiant to anybody.
It's the ship of thesis paradox,
and,
right?
And people are allegiant to the Supra. This isn't what a Supra is supposed to be. It's like every generation of Supra was completely different from the one before it.
Yes.
None of them are alike at all. None of them are like the one on either side of it. What is
it's not a Mark IV Supra.
Well, it's not tunable. What the fuck do you know?
Yeah, of course it is.
0 people are tuning these things so far.
Yeah.
Like,
also, that BMW engine, guarantee you, it's going to be what?
I drove a 335
horsepower?
with 850 fucking horsepower. It was a death trap. It was
also
awesome.
I saw test numbers flying around from the Supra this week. Like that thing's fast.
It's really fast.
It's really fast.
Yeah,
like,
someone
faster than
did.
the numbers show.
Who did Car and Driver or someone
It might
did some
have been.
numbers on it? I
It might
think
have
Car
been.
and Driver did some numbers.
But it's faster than the numbers imply, and that's like obvious because BMW notoriously has low power figure on the ratings.
Yeah.
Right?
I think where the M2, to me, like in a kind of an objective, well, maybe it's not objective, but in ways that I can tell without driving it, that ZF in the Supra is really good for a ZF.
Yep.
But BMW's dual clutch is still better. And you can get a stick
I was
in an
thinking-
M2.
yeah,
You can get, they share the same steering column, so the steering feels similar kind of for a reason. But I think Supra wins.
I think when it comes down to handling, it'll be curious because 2 Series is still fundamentally like a mishmash of 3 Series parts.
Yeah.
So like that structure was not designed from the ground up to be a sports car.
Yeah.
And that's where that's what the Toyota kept saying.
The
about
M2 is
Supra.
amazing considering
For
how
sure.
whack the 235 is.
Yes. Yeah. M2. I'm not trying to
the
discredit the M2.
235 is no bueno.
But it'd be really interesting to get those 2 cars on track and see
Yeah.
where that difference sorts out.
Yeah.
Right. Of
I
course.
also think a lot of their competition is going to be the top end of Mustang and Camaro. I mean, it's like Bullets and 1LEs and stuff like that.
1LE SS with all the trim and stuff on it's $50,000.
Yeah,
That's a good car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
That's
good
a really
driver's
good
car.
car. Yeah.
But I
And
wonder
it
how
has a
much
back seat,
I wonder how
which-
much cross shopping though. Like they are kind of different market. Like people that are
None.
buying an M2
Right.
probably not going to buy. Even if we tell them
There's
to.
1,500, of these launch edition Supras coming to the market. The first.
Did you ask how many they're going to build? How many they plan to build
They
total?
would not
Forgetting the launch
say how
edition.
many they would plan. They were 1,500 launch edition,
Yeah.
but they would not say how many they were going to build total. But they would say they were not limited. They were not constrained in production.
Yeah.
So they'll build
as
as
many
as
of you
they'll
order
sell.
many
one,
as
you
well.
get
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll probably sell a bunch.
Yeah, I think they'll sell. If that market's pretty small, let's be honest,
Yeah.
like $50,000 to $60,000 rear drive 2-seat coupes. Not a lot are leaving dealer lots.
Yeah.
If real quick, the numbers of the old Supra, it ran 0 to 60 in 4.6 and did a quarter mile in 13.1, which is pretty surprising for back then. But
That's pretty quick for 93.
Yeah, very quick for
13.1
93.
is stout for 93.
New car does 0 to 60 in 3.8 and
3.8?
a quarter
Shit,
in
that's
12.2.
Wow.
That's progress.
And the new one
Bro,
had
that
better
thing is
grip,
gonna be
as you'd expect.
mobbing.
Better slalom, of course.
What was the slalom speed?
Mm-hmm.
You see? Did it just say better?
Oops. Give me a second.
That dude, 3.8 to 60 for $50,000.
That's fast.
That's pretty awesome.
The new car.
Did you use launch
the new
control?
car? The new car skid pad was 1.07.
That's excellent.
That's
on
insane.
Super Sports, that's very good.
That matches a
You get a
GT3. That's
coffee,
incredible.
pussy? That's very good on Super Sports.
The old one, amazingly, 0.95.
It's pretty good for 93.
93? That's
Yeah.
really impressive.
But I think that's road holding though. That's a circle, right?
Correct.
I think road holding implies the old Supra handles a little better than it. Like this. Does it say the slalom of the old Supra?
It looks like they did not slalom. I think I spoke out of turn there.
Sorry about
They
that.
just did acceleration, braking, and road holding.
All right.
What was the old Supra's skid pad number?
0.95. New one's 1.07.
Oh God, yeah, that's
Huge.
That's big. That's
Significant.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's tire tech too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Sports. I asked them why it wasn't PS4S's, and they got kind of like grumbly about it. I guess they started developing the car so long ago that
was
by
the
the
tire
time
they
they
could get.
launched it, a new tire came out.
Those tires worked great.
No, I have no complaints about the tire.
I
but
asked the prep guys how long they were getting. How long they were getting out of the tires. He's like 2 days.
that's great. Well, Super Sports last
hard track use.
I think they have a 30,000 mile tread wear warranty.
Oh, really?
I think they do.
That's high.
That's very high.
But I guess because if they're Michelin is trying to phase out the Super Sport and go to the S4S, but if they launch a new OE tire, they have to make it for 10 years.
Really?
So they're committed now to 10 years of this special spec Super Sport. I get kind of annoyed when they do a spec tire. When you get a flat, it's just annoying.
Oh yeah, well they're all the spec. Pretty much any.
Is that just a marketing thing at this point?
No, they say spec? It's not. They say.
Oh no, every automaker prescribes their own tread patterns and wear patterns and rain, water evacuation.
But do they need to? I'm saying, like, if you build a car and it weighs 3,350 pounds and has this size, and I build a car almost exactly the same weight and everything, and you're like, well, I have a spec tire. I'm like, me too, because we're different.
If I'm an engineer, I'm not an engineer, but if I'm an engineer, I get to optimize characteristics out of the tire that I think work better to my platform. I'm going to do that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I guess I understand why, and I also don't understand why. Like, I understand if you can design it perfectly to help your car, and the opportunity is there, but to a consumer, it can be more problematic for a while.
It could, yeah, for sure.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah, but hey, we got run flats.
That's true. It solves all problems.
Oh, no, not on the Supra.
Not on the Supra. Yeah. Fix a flat.
No. But we were talking. I was talking to the Michelin guys there about the Corvette run flats.
Yeah,
and how good they've actually gotten. Really, really good. Speaking of really good, lemon cake.
Those are all right.
That's fucking.
Have you had one?
I'm not a huge sweets or lemon cake person.
Okay.
Done well.
If it was chocolate chip cookies, I'd be in there.
You've done really well.
I was actually, the choice was those or chocolate chip cookies.
I'm glad you chose those because now I won't eat them.
I'm glad I chose those too, or else I'd have like a whole cookies all over my beard right now. It'd be real bad.
Those are extremely bomb.
Yeah.
Bravo. So ultimately, I walked away from it going, look, if you like how this Supra looks, you're looking for a front engine rear drive car, and your budget is $50,000, you'll probably be pretty happy with this.
Did you wonder, like, hey, if this was the Z4 M Coupe, would you be mad?
No. I also don't think that saying this drives like a BMW is a bad thing.
Not at all.
Because it drives like a good BMW. Some BMWs don't drive like good BMWs anymore. I drove a 550 like M Sport recently. Did not drive like a good BMW.
Yeah, this has all the driving characteristics that you want.
Yeah. Zach, you gonna linger on me eating on that shop, motherfucker?
This is why people are like, "Oh, does Zach read these comments?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm trying to like listen, talk, search, change
Zach's
cameras."
got things to do, but I mean lemon cake over here, bitch.
You're both eating lemon cake.
So go to the wide.
Then you see both of you eating lemon cake.
Woo! Better that than me being in this hole by myself.
What else have you been driving?
What else have I been driving? Sadly, like, not enough.
Yeah. Oh, you had that little wedding thing.
Yeah, I did buy a car.
What'd you buy?
I'm selling my Mercedes. I'm bringing a trailer probably next week. No reserve, half for charity. Just so you know, Robbie's coming to detail this weekend. Gonna throw it up there. We bought a new car for Hannah.
What'd you get?
Because she returned her Volvo lease, and she needed a new car, and she was driving the Mercedes SL, but we had 3 cars, all of which had 2 seats, and that wasn't going to work for very long. So the SL is going to go, and I bought a 1991 Mitsubishi Delica. I think it's called a Space Gear Exceed Turbo D.
Okay.
Yeah, Space Gear Exceed Turbo D is what it's called. It's a Japanese van. It is I think, is that the actual one right there, Zach? No. That's not it, but that is pretty close. That's basically it.
How'd you find this thing?
From Sean at Import a Vehicle, Top Rank
so they didn't sell it
Importers.
in the US.
Yeah, so basically what's neat about this van is underneath it is basically a Montero.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a 2.5 liter turbo diesel, mid-engine, solid axle rear drive, but with a proper 4x4 transfer case with low range.
God, I missed Japan from the 90s.
Yeah. It has 3 rows of seating, and the middle row is captain's chairs that slide, angle back, and swivel, so you can face the third row
like a gentleman.
You can also slide them all the way back and rest your feet on the bulkhead. It has 2 air conditioners, front and rear air conditioners, and the one that I bought has 38,000 kilometers on it.
Wow.
Oh, there's the interior. There's the one, the seats facing each other in the Delica. I think that might be the one I bought. That looks like Sean's lot. I think that's mine.
It's like you can stop and be like, let's take a meeting, and then just like flip your seats around.
Yeah, they swivel. And so Crook at 1552 is going to get me a set of Turbo Max. They have a fitting.
Of course.
They have a fitment. Someone did this
so
table.
Cool.
Yeah, you can basically turn it into the like a Sprinter, like a ghetto Sprinter.
That's rad.
And then this one in the photo has the glass roof, like a Volkswagen Samba.
Yeah.
And they call that the Crystal Light roof.
Hopefully there's a decal for that somewhere.
There is. There is.
Perfect.
Mine does not have that. Sean had one with the Crystal Light roof, but it had like way more miles on it.
Yeah.
And in California, like, is a glass roof helping me?
Nope.
Like, not
Not at all.
really.
Yeah.
So I tried to be like, wait, go back up, Zach. I think that's not the exact one. Never mind. He took down the listing. Otherwise, I'd show you the listing.
Okay. That's rad. When do you get it?
It's at Sean's right now. I'm just waiting on the title.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be the coolest. And it doesn't really need anything. Sean is... Oh, wait. Go up, Zach. In the middle there with the white shit on it. Is that... With the white... Go down. Right. Down. Left. With the white bash bars. That is... Well, it's not it, but it has those exact white bash bars on it.
Perfect.
So the
lights too?
Yeah. So there's no rust on the truck like at all, but that bash bar has some surface rust.
Okay.
So I'm going to have that taken off. There's also a matching white like tubular step. I'm having that taken off, and one of the guys will powder coat it. We'll blast it in black or rhino liner or something. But other than that, Sean, this thing is mega fresh.
That's cool.
And so that's going to be Hannah's daily driver for the summer.
Awesome.
And then if she doesn't like it after a few months, it's going to become my airport pickup vehicle for my shop. And
I love it.
She'll get something that she wants.
I love it.
But like it was it was very affordable. It's very neat because it's so tall. And has such a great greenhouse. Like it's easy. Driving on the right side is not a super pain in the ass.
No, not at all.
And it's automatic. It's not a manual. Okay. It's a 4-speed auto. And Clarion's going to hook up a system with a little backup camera action.
Does it have a low range?
Yes.
Dude, you do drive this across Iceland.
Dude, these are like the Japanese Volkswagen Synchros,
so
basically.
Great.
And I saw a guy, there's been one parked in the beach lot by my house every fucking day for like 3 weeks. And I went for coffee this morning and I walked by and the guy was getting in it and I ran over to talk to the guy. And I was like, I just got one of these things. He's like, oh, he was like such a surf bro. And his had 340,000 kilometers on it. And it was great. I found a website called Delica USA that has all the US part numbers to get like everything for them.
That's super cool.
Because like so much shit on them is interchangeable with Monteros. Like all of the powertrain maintenance, anything is all just Montero shit.
That's so cool.
So there's a guy like wheeling one, and like if you add the search term overland to your Delica search, Zach, you get like
overland.
Yeah. There's people who go out who turn them into like campers, and there's one on Bring a Trailer right now that's got a camper set up on it.
You could drive this like across Iceland.
Well, I just saw one with tracks. If you scroll down, I think I saw one with tracks. Yep, right there. That's the shit.
Of course.
Tracks that's amazing.
That's so cool.
And it's got those big mirrors that stick out.
Yeah.
It's very awesomely Japanese.
Yeah.
It's got that altimeter, not the altimeter, the
the
horizon line.
Oh, yeah.
Horizon line thing. Yeah. I'm very excited. It's not fast.
No, I can imagine.
It's 100 horsepower and 170 torque.
Yep.
Because it's the turbo.
So no freeways.
No, it'll go. Top speed is 90.
Okay.
We drove it. I drove it up to like 70, and it was okay up to 70.
Okay.
But it's really just for running around the city.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not going on any road trips in it. That's not the idea.
It's a local drive only.
Yeah.
It's like my truck. Don't drive it more than 15, 20 miles.
No, you can fucking drive it, but like it wouldn't be fun to go on a road trip with it.
Exactly.
It'd be fun to overland it. Overland it. That's it. It wouldn't be fun to drive 500 miles on the highway.
For sure.
No, but like people definitely do. Like Sean, the other one, the one with the crystal light roof on it. Sean drove that like through Death Valley. He went on a camping trip with his kids to the Grand Canyon. Like he drove it all through Utah.
That's really
like
cool.
it can be done. Like, dude, it's this little fucking whatever.
It's tiny
diesel.
Yeah.
It's not tiny.
No, I mean
there's a
the
picture of
the van itself is tiny.
No, there was a picture of a guy standing next to one there, Zach, in the middle. It's small by minivan standards,
exactly.
but it's like think Volkswagen Synchro. It's about that size.
Yeah, totally.
And apparently they're very capable.
Yeah,
like.
Well, this person's stickers say Barcelona, Istanbul, Cairo, Nairobi, Cape Town, Buenos Aires.
And that looks, if I may say, pretty stock.
That's a stock ride height?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So your front overhang is out a lot, but you have this super generous approach angle. You may have to watch that bumper if you ever do go this stuff. But like, no, there's a ton of space there.
Yeah. We should definitely try and take it off-roading. I bet you it's great.
Oh yeah.
We tested the low range works. We used it.
Let's do it.
I'm very excited.
That's cool.
Yeah. And for the money, like it was what it was listed for was fair, and then Sean gave me the friend price. It was very reasonable.
Yeah.
Very reasonable.
That's nice.
For the amount of cool, like they actually got 300,000 kilometer guy. I was like, how do you like this thing? He was like, get ready to have people talk to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said everybody asked him about it.
Yeah.
Some guy said his manager had one for 8 years, never had a problem, and it was more reliable than his dad's Land Cruiser.
There you go. That's not. Oh, then his Land Cruiser.
Land Cruiser.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Land Cruiser.
Yeah, I went the other way too.
I thought he said Land Rover. I was like, well, it's not such a high bar.
Like, a low bar.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the new news in the Farrah garage, and then of course my Mercedes SL, which is in mint condition, is going to be on Bring a Trailer No Reserve.
Sorely missed, I imagine.
I love that car, but I don't have a use for it if she's not driving it. So
yeah, for sure.
What else have you driven recently? I've had kind of a lull, I could say, and at least in the volume.
Yeah, I drove GT2 RS.
Oh well, please, bring that.
That's a fast car.
No shit.
That's a really fast car.
They tell me.
That car is really fast. So
my friend Spike's got one, and he's been putting a lot of miles on it. It's his favorite car to drive. Awesome. He says right now.
That's really cool. I've been to VIR 3 times now, and every time that track gets smaller. Like,
yeah, that looks like Road Atlanta though.
No, I'm sorry, not VIR. That is Road Atlanta.
Okay,
man, I totally flubbed that joke. Can we do that again?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Road Atlanta in a GT2 RS. Okay, so how fast were you going across the kink?
So we were at the kink Wait, which one's the kink?
Like the bend,
at the back straight?
in the middle of the back straight.
So we were in a lead follow situation, and so the guy in front was in a GT3 RS, and we were in GT2. So we were backing off at about 150, 155, which is enough. Like
rock solid though.
Yeah, I felt good. Oh yeah,
rock solid.
Yeah. So it was Hurley Haywood, also in the GT3 RS. Of course.
I actually was going to ask.
Left that
Hurley.
detail out.
Yeah.
And so
who's he? He sounds like someone who sucks at driving.
Yeah, he's all right. Hurley was awesome. He was the only driver there that day doing lead follow, lapping for probably 6 of us who were rotating through constantly.
Yeah,
he was in the GT3 all day.
I think he enjoys that.
Oh
I think he enjoys that kind of thing at work.
He's like, this is easier than Le Mans.
Yeah, no, I think he likes that better than doing like big interviews.
Oh yeah,
he'd rather just be in the car and fucking driving. Yeah. I saw him at Luft. I enjoyed his film.
I did not as many stints as he did, of course, obviously. But still, for the next 2-3 days, my neck and the back of my head and my shoulders were sore enough that I thought I was getting sick.
Really?
Yeah, like I was, something's wrong.
Is that from the braking or from the
laterally?
Laterally?
Yeah, trying to keep myself stuck. That thing was nuts.
Yeah.
So fast.
So worth $300,000?
You got $300,000? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know, but yeah.
My philosophy with 911s is buy the most you can afford.
Yeah.
If you can afford that, go for it. If you can't afford that, you're still going to have a good time.
That's a good philosophy. I like that. Yeah. I mean, I think you should always, for people who ask about buying something and then modifying.
Yeah, okay.
You should always start with the best car you can afford.
Do the best you can.
Yeah. Spend all the money on the car first.
Because that comes with all the reliability.
Yeah. You get way further.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how much further you get by starting with the V8 instead of modifying the 6-cylinder or whatever. People email me all the fucking time about what mods they can do in their
It always sounds
small
great
little
in abstract.
versions of the car, and I go, dude.
In theory,
Ford is happy to sell you a much faster version of this with a warranty. Like, I guess I'm not taking account of insurance and stuff like that.
Oh,
but,
for sure. But
yeah.
I think logically, if you can't afford that much more car, if it's not that much of a stretch. Like, if we're talking about a stretch, then yeah, I could see the argument. But if it's like, oh, I can afford this, but should I actually buy this something less expensive? Go for the higher amount because you can probably afford the rest of everything else.
Have you driven 570 GT?
I have not. Oh no, I drove. I'm always confused by McLaren
600
model
LT?
numbers. I drove 570. Is GT the new one?
well, there's S,
I drove 570S.
and then the GT was the luxury one.
Okay.
And now there's the LT, the long
600
tail.
LT.
600 LT.
Yeah.
Which is not really long. I mean, it's a little longer, but
I
it's
drove
lovely.
570S.
How do you
most
feel that
recently.
compares to GT2?
Totally different experience. Not a, I would say, as hardcore track car as the GT2 RS is.
Right, because it is.
It's
to
a
be
street
fair,
car.
like one of the most
It's intended
hardcore.
to be a street car as well as a supercar. Of course, stupid fast, really nice to drive and all that, but not the same experience for different reasons. Like that.
I feel like I'd rather have an entry-level McLaren than a really loaded-up 911.
Yeah.
Even if a really loaded-up 911 is amazing.
Do you want the sensation of the McLaren, like,
I think
like
so.
the supercar styling of it?
I think the sensation of it. I think you can, not to demean the high-end 911s in any way, but I think you can get a lot of the feelings of the 911 without having to buy. You know, I mean, even like a Carrera T.
Oh, yeah.
Has a
Still
lot
a
of
great
the
car.
same sensations you get from a GT2 RS, even if they are much milder.
Yeah, the performance threshold is lower, but the feel is 75, 80% of the
right.
experience.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really replicate a McLaren for less.
It's very true.
You know what I
Very
mean? You
true.
can't even get close. You can't approximate a McLaren for less. Like
that also works with Lamborghini and and Ferrari.
right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He brought up McLaren, and that's why I went down that path. But
Sure.
yes, the top tier mid engine stuff.
Yeah.
You know that those all start to really have unique characters.
Yeah, really unique experiences. Yeah, I agree. It's a different world when you start getting up to the $300,000 price range. Things get weird very quickly.
Yeah.
It becomes really hard to.
And
make.
then you hit the 720S and you go, okay, good night and good luck, sir. we can just stop now. Thank you very much. But I bet that how much in Road Atlanta when you're coming down into at the end of the back straight into that downhill braking zone, how much are you able to push the brakes there?
We weren't able to as much, thankfully, because we were going way faster than my skills would allow.
You have a pretty high skill level.
But that car again is like
It's a lot of car.
Like there are normal drivers, there's us, then there are race drivers, right?
Yeah.
And the gap between us and normal drivers is almost as great as the gap between us and race drivers, if not greater, right? So I'm like fairly competent, but that car we were driving at a pace that was like just a little bit beyond comfort level, like at the ragged edge of it. Brakes never felt like they had any problem. Nice, good pedal feedback. Yeah. It was all solid. The best part about that track though is the last turn onto the straight.
The turn 12 down the hill.
Yeah, where you come up over the hill and it's totally blind and you just have to follow the line and stay straight and like, I hope the track's gonna be there.
Red flag, yellow line.
Yeah, it's
red flag, yellow line. Red flag,
fantastic.
yellow line. That's how you know
Fantastic.
where
Flying blind.
That's
cool.
how you know where to go over the hill. I shit my pants the first time I fucking went over that hill.
Oh yeah.
I did probably 100 laps in a simulator, and then
It's not nowhere near the same.
and then when I got to Road Atlanta, I realized my folly in the simulator. I had left the racing line on.
Yep.
And so I gave myself
Where's that green arrow?
Gave myself fuck all to work at. Nothing to look at when I got to the track. And so when I met Donnie Isley from the BMW Performance Driving School, and I was like, Donnie, help me. What do I do? And he goes, red flag, yellow line.
Yeah.
Red flag, yellow line. And then when I went around, I was like, oh, that shit makes so much sense.
So we crossed start stop I think at like 114, 115.
Yeah.
By turn 1, we're already doing 140.
That's fucking moving.
That's really
that's
fast.
booking
That's
it.
how fast that thing
Yeah,
is.
it's really booking it.
Yeah.
I bet that's lovely.
It's
That's a good
it's
car
intense.
for that track.
It's intense.
Very intense.
Yeah.
I filmed that car at Road America when they did the launch there, and Rob Holland was one of the people that was there, was chasing Hurley.
He's an okay driver.
And he's a very good driver. And Hurley's driving a GT3 RS, and Rob was just like, Hurley might lose me in a corner, and I go, fuck, I got to try really hard to catch up to him. And then all of a sudden, he was like right up his bumper. It's just because the car was so fast. And he's like, is Hurley holding back? I mean, I'm sure Hurley's not going race pace, but like that's how quick that car was.
250 horsepower difference. Yeah. It's a big difference. A GT3 RS is a real fast car until a GT2 RS show up.
Yeah, no, their gap was much smaller than some of the other people that were on that launch. So it was very fast.
Hurley told me to back off at one point. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Not trying to hot show off. Sorry.
What was he driving?
GT3 RS. Yeah. That thing also, GT3 RS sounds better. Flat out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds, like the 2 is better. Much quieter than I was expecting.
The 2s are quiet. Yeah.
Quiet, muffled. It's more like, not industrial, but like it's more.
It's a little vacuum cleaner.
We're going to make this thing fast and screw everything else.
It's like the Porsche Turbo. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes by.
Yeah.
720S in those drive-by videos didn't sound all that crazy either. It sounds nice in the car.
I think to be fair, like you were very far away and there were louder cars there, but all you heard was air when you went by. It was just
air goes in, air goes out.
Supra sounds good.
It sounds very pleasant.
Supra
I could use
good.
A little more volume. I'd be happy with a couple dBs.
Okay.
A couple extra dBs.
I was
but
so satisfied with that sound. And the nice thing about where they staged us up by the pit lane, people would be braking for that right turn, super slow, like second gear right turn. I don't know if it was maybe bottom of third. Car would make this nice backfire, reverberated off the walls, or maybe that was the guys doing the firearms training.
Burble tune. That's the burble tune.
It was nice.
Yeah,
it sounded good.
It did sound good.
Was there live shooting happening?
There was also fully automatic gunfire.
That was pretty rad.
You're in Virginia. You're West Virginia, and you're close enough to DC that some like DC shit happens. You know, CIA or whatever the fuck's going on.
Helicopters flying in and out. And then,
Well, I remember I found out that the Salamander Hotel that we stayed in, I was like, what is this place for?
That was a weird place.
There's no golf there. Yeah. Like there's some horses, but like
there's vineyards?
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, it's for entertaining It's for lobbyists to entertain Congress. And whatever. Because there was a whole big thing the following week after the launch. There was a big news story that all of these like anti-Medicare for all lobbyists were entertaining all the congressional staffers there because it's like an hour from DC.
Oh, good.
So it's like a spa.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what that's about.
It was a nice place.
It was nice, actually. I was a fan.
It was decent.
I was a fan. I hope I didn't contribute to anti-Medicare for all.
I didn't pay anything.
I didn't. That's true. I did not either. I did not. It was fun. We recorded a podcast in the bar.
I heard that. That sounded like a good time.
I was surprised there was any kind of audio at all, but it was fun.
I was bummed. I was asleep when you called.
I know. I would try to get you in. We can't say I didn't try to get you in. I did.
Yeah.
Can you talk about? Is that the Stratos? Can you talk about the Stratos?
Where?
Did you drive the Stratos?
No, that's the what is
GT4.
That's a GT3 touring.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. From across the table, it looked like Stratos.
While we're talking about 911s.
And Camisa and Johnny, I guess, are driving Stratos this week.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. I'm driving it in June.
Is there a drive happening?
No, it's just there's one car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Passing it around.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And the company that I drove their manual converted Scud, EAG down in Texas.
Scud?
They did a Ferrari Scuderia. They converted the manual. Okay. They converted the Stratos to manual as well.
Awesome.
The blue Stratos did not start as a manual car. It started as an F1 car, so EAG converted that to manual.
How does that work? How does it work in an application? Is it
to drive?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best Ferrari I've ever driven.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's incredible. It's like the perfect engine, the perfect gearbox, and it's batshit. It's great fun.
What is it about some engines that really want manuals and some don't? Like, you know what I mean? Like, some cars you get in, you're like, this would not be better with a manual. Some cars you get in, say, I only want.
Well, I don't know if it's the engine per se. I think that Ferrari is so good at making manual gearboxes. Like, they all feel really nice. Mm-hmm. The Ferrari 430 manual, like the regular ones, were really nice, and the Scud, in order to shift faster automatically, has upgraded synchros from the regular 430. So in practice, when you convert a Scud to stick, the shifter feel is even smoother than the regular 430. Really? Yeah, it's so great.
I've always had this mindset though, like some cars don't need, like a GTR I don't think would be better with a manual.
No, I agree.
I don't think the Supra would be better with a manual.
I think it's at the right level where a manual could be fun.
But if I bought a C7 Corvette, I'd want a manual.
Well, that's because the automatic's so horrible.
Even if the automatic was really good, even if it came with some kick butt dual clutch, I'd still rather have the manual.
Something I would too, but
yeah.
okay.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a power band thing or a sound
I think it's something
thing?
sound. It's some characteristic with acceleration, with sound, with it's got to be a good manual, of course. But I've always wondered why that's the case.
With Ferrari, the clutches are very light. You know, the engines are small, so the clutches don't need to be heavy. You know, the small engine in a light car, you've got a light clutch pedal, but it's got really good feel.
Yeah.
The spacing of the pedals is always nice. The placement of the shifters are really nice. They're direct and kind of notchy, but it's not heavy. You could do it with your fingers. Like, it's very rewarding. I recently went over to a friend's shop and he had like a early 60s, like a 330 GTS in the shop, and I just sat in it and just moved the shifter through the gears.
Just felt good.
Holy shit, was that butter. That was the butteriest shifter I've ever felt.
It takes a lot of
attention
to mechanical details to get everything right, because there's so many. A good upshift when it's done right is one of the most satisfying things you can do in a car, right? Or downshift too.
Yeah.
But to get all that to feel right, you're paying attention to not just like the clutch pedal, like the engagement, but also the shape of it.
Yeah.
Right. What that material is, all that stuff plays into it.
With the Scud manual, you have to be very good at driving stick. I'm not trying to blow my own, toot my own horn, but like, it feels like it's got no flywheel at all. It revs like a fucking bike.
Yeah.
So you have to do everything at the same time. You know what I mean? The whole shift has to happen real fast, because otherwise you're gonna miss the blip.
That RSR replica thing I drove 2 days ago was like that. I had to like recalibrate. I'm like, I'm sucking at shifting right now because it's way faster than my car.
A quick upshift. I mean, you have to be quick on the upshift, or the revs fall too quick. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, or blip.
You almost don't even press the clutch in all the way. You know what I mean? You almost start to pull it out of gear on the way down, and then it goes in gear as your foot hits the floor. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's rad. All Ferrari 430s should be stick. They should.
I bet that shop will have a lot of customers in the next year, 2 years.
Oh, they have a line.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I mean the press is going crazy for good reason, and so everyone's going, "Yeah, I'll take that." Great.
What's it cost to do the conversion?
30.
30.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there were not.
Does that include the transmission?
They don't change the transmission. You use the regular transmission.
Oh, they just build a linkage into it.
They just take the fucking robot out. Yeah, because Ferrari sold a manual 430, so you just use the Ferrari parts, and then you have to retune the gearbox.
I didn't realize that.
It's all Ferrari parts.
That's really attractive.
It's totally
more attractive than it was. I thought.
It's totally OEM in the non-Scuds.
Yeah,
because the Scud obviously never came in manual, so if you convert it, you clearly have something that was never original.
Yeah.
But if you convert a regular 430, it's impossible to tell, other than decoding the VIN number, that it wasn't genuine, because it's all Ferrari shit.
Yeah, that's really cool. Do you think a converted 430 is worth more than an all original 430?
I think it splits the difference between an F1 car and a stick car.
Gotcha.
An F1 car is like 100 for an early car. A stick car is like 150, 160. It costs 30 to get the conversion done. It's probably worth the difference.
Which one would you rather own?
I mean, I'd rather own a genuine one if I could, but than a converted one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather own a genuine one. If I could, I think it's a better long play. It's a better investment, but like, I would love to have one to just fucking not one. You know what I mean? Buy a high mileage car. Yeah. Just convert it to stick and beat the piss out of it. I mean,
drive it.
They 430s with miles on them. They drive good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They break in real nice. Yeah. Real nice, Clark.
Yeah.
They break in fucking good.
Those cars like being driven.
Mercedes with miles on them drive real good too. Yeah. Ed Bolian could tell you that. I'd like to get Ed on the show. He has an offer for he has an open offer for when he's in Los Angeles. I like Ed. He's always been chill.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he seems like a chill dude. I've seen him at a couple Radwoods. The Radwood Atlanta he came out to. He's that ATL posse. Did I see, Zach, a shitload of questions? I saw what appeared to be a shitload. Oh, it's not a shitload.
Not crazy.
Not crazy. Oh,
20?
Right.
15.
What we got?
Let's go through them. Let's see what we got. Let's get some inspiration from the people. Carlos, what happened to your Nissan 240 SS?
Oh,
I remember that thing. LS powered.
I thought this was pretty well documented. The Motor Trend owned that car.
You always think things are well documented. It's amazing how what people don't see.
Yeah, I did not take that car with me when I left.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They should allow you to keep all project cars.
Well,
that's not how life works.
And it's a shame.
It really should be.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. Robert says, my friend's dad just purchased a Lexus SC 430, wants to make it drive sportier. Have any of you driven one that drives worth a damn, or how do you make one drive better?
I make sway bars for them.
On the side, I've driven a stock one. It doesn't drive great. It drives like kind of a mess.
They're really heavy, right? Feel really heavy.
Top Gear did call it the worst car ever made.
It's a little extreme.
I saw one yesterday and it was looking very clean inside and out. Like,
no, I think they're fine. I don't know. Does anyone make suspension for those? I have no idea.
I had one in the family. Just leave it alone. Like, just drive it. I mean, the money that you'd have to spend to make it conform to whatever your idea of like driving good is not worth it.
Yeah.
I will throw this out there. It is possible that if that car is original, the shocks and shit and bushings could be tired. So literally replacing the shocks and bushings and having it gone through and to drive like it's supposed to drive, along with a good set of tires, will go like a really long way.
Yeah. Actually, probably tires would be the biggest single improvement outside of fixing all the stuff that might be old and rusted.
Right.
Like, you might get lucky and find a suspension guru that goes, oh, that's the same size as XYZ, so I can get these coilovers for it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
But there's definitely no market for it.
Anything? I don't think there's any market with anything or any overlap with anything. I don't think there was a big aftermarket community for those.
No,
in the U.S.
I mean,
for
Lexus in general.
Maybe in Japan.
Then.
I mean,
maybe
I don't know. I would just start Googling and see what you come up with, but make it as close to stock as you can.
Yes,
and that'll be good.
Yeah.
Nate says, "How do we get away from brutalist styling and the pursuit of hypothetical lap times towards more abstract concepts of fun factor and experience?" Okay. How do we get away from more brutalist styling?
Stop fuel economy standards.
Yeah.
Stop crash safety standards.
Yeah.
Best cars were designed before those were a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The best looking cars were designed before those were a big deal.
I think styling is very heavily regulated.
Yep.
I'm really excited. We just had Alan Macy on the podcast, who is the dude from the Manual Gearbox Preservation Society. If you guys haven't listened to that show, it's really interesting. You should listen to it. Especially the second half, once he learns he's not scared of podcasts. I saw him at the race service party, and I was like, you were great once you stopped being afraid of a microphone. He's like, I know, I got to come back. I think next Friday, Alex Roy is going to be in studio, and I'm trying to get Zuckerman and him and Alan to come in together and talk about autonomous shit.
That'd be awesome.
The pursuit of hypothetical lap times, I mean, I think the lap times are real. They're somebody's real lap time. But look, the numbers, like, they sell cars. Like, people, just look at the Supras and whatever. Like, people care, for better or worse, about whether their car is faster than their neighbor's car.
Well, the new hamburger needs to be 10% bigger than the old one, right? I mean, if they came out with a new car that was slower than the car before it, this person might be stoked on it, but a lot of people go, why would I buy the new car? I mean, it's pretty simple.
I had a talk with a Corvette chief engineer on the ZR1 launch, and that car is so much car that you can just go to a dealership and buy. I went up and asked him, I said, hey, like, at what point do you feel like there's a responsibility to have at least some sort of like driver training?
I've asked that to a lot.
Vetting system, blah, 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 blah. And he said, like, we're not going to stop so long as Porsche doesn't stop, so long as Ferrari doesn't stop, and blah, 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 blah. And that's where it's at.
That's how you started with the gentleman's agreement in Japan and all that stuff back in the day. But
people
obviously
buy these cars because of those theoretical
I do think, though, like,
they don't have to stop, but they could say, we offer a driver training program because this car is fucking bananas and you need to understand what you're buying. Like, we're happy to sell it to you, but like, we can't in good conscience just turn you out in this fucking
But if I'm a businessman, you mean I'm not going to sell a car to this person?
Yeah.
How about I sell a car to this person?
Yeah.
And then there's some businessmen who be like, are you saying I can't drive? Are you saying I don't know what I'm doing? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You know how many assistants I fired this month? Suck my dick. But there are car companies that offer like really discounted rates or free driver school. Like I think Jaguar did for a while. There's like an F-Type school.
These super high performance cars come with a day of driver instruction.
You need more than that.
Consistent driver and training.
Yeah.
I
think if you can afford a $150,000 car, you should get some instruction.
Voluntarily, yeah, but there should be some,
some mandatory.
I've always like had, did some theorizing, like how fun would it be if there was a special like driver's license.
Bro, tiered licensing, 100%.
That also came with harsher penalties.
Yeah.
You know, like you basically have to sign a contract
like
that says,
you can do 100, but if you do 101, we're taking your license.
Or if you crash.
Do it in the wrong place.
If you get a DUI, like you are never driving again. Like, you know, make that trade.
Like a high-performance CDL, basically.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's the way to put it.
Basically.
Yeah.
You have to adhere to CDL standards, but you actually get to drive faster.
Yeah. You have
so about
fewer
that.
restrictions, but more penalties.
So about that.
And you'd have to subject your car to like some sort of inspection annually. You know, like to make sure that it's safe and all that. And
also, to Nate's point, I think there are abstract concepts of fun factor and experience at almost all price levels. Think about Shelby was the GT350 is not the fastest car Ford could build because if it was, it would probably have a supercharger on it. You know what I mean? Like they built that car because it was Porsche builds a GT3 and a turbo. They don't only build, they build
which are about the same money, right?
Yeah, and they build a 911 GT3 Touring with less aero and more, and a manual. Like I think there are companies that are more than happy to sell you fun factor and experience. You can get an 86. It's slow as balls.
86
pretty
Miata,
fun.
Perfect.
Miata's like, I think Alfa Romeo. If you want to really beat yourself up, Lotus, fucking I think there's a ton of options for fun factor, for the money.
Absolutely.
Mateo says, how much cash needs to be on the hood to buy a new Giulia Quadrifoglio? Oof.
I've read all the reliability stories. I had so much fun driving that car stock that even with all the reliability stories online, I'm like, you know what? I'd still be interested.
Yeah.
It's still a very tempting car for all the wrong reasons. It drives really well.
I was a little frustrated with how it drove. I thought it drove great when you were going fast.
Yes.
And I thought it was a nightmare in traffic with very grabby brakes.
You slowed down.
Yeah. I don't need my 5-seat sedans to also be supercars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't need my Lamborghinis to be crossovers, and I don't need my sedans to be supercars. That's why the M3 is so nice. It's not a pain in the ass when you just want to have a normal car.
Yeah, a normal car that's got somewhat of an edge, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So to answer his question, I would say it needs to be 20 G's cash on the hood, and I want a written guarantee that every time it breaks, the loaner I get is also a Quadrifoglio.
That would be the key.
I don't want to spend half the time in a fucking 4-cylinder for the least cost of a quad. I want a quad loaner. Clayton says, I have a 2018 Volkswagen GTI with an open differential and Volkswagen's brake torque vectoring system. Is it worth doing coilovers in a tune if I'm limited by the open diff? It's used for commuting and driving in Atlanta and in the mountains. What say you?
People have been driving quick cars with open diffs for a long time.
I agree. Yeah. I think
there's no harm in that.
Yeah, no, I think whether or not you have coilovers in a tune, I mean, yes, if you're trying to like launch the car, it might exacerbate the fact that you don't have a diff. Like those things don't negate each other. You can have any or the coilovers, tune, diff. Those three things are not mutually exclusive by any means.
I don't know if you can stop the brake vectoring, because I would imagine that after a prolonged, mountain driving,
if you turn traction control fully off, I'm sure you can.
Yeah,
I think you can.
If you can, great. But if under prolonged, like hard mountain driving, I'd imagine your brakes get pretty toasty. So your actually bigger care would be like, okay, what kind of can I put pads in here that give me more durability, right, for that kind of driving?
Yeah, that's the bummer about those systems. Yeah. Oh, it overheats everything.
Yeah, but no, I'd say go for it if that's what you want to do. I would say eventually. You start doing an air cooler, you start doing a turbo, then you eventually you do need a diff, but you're good there. Brendan's back with the soccer ball. Don't even worry about that, Carlos. It's an OG joke. Nate Drake says, what is the better track toy, an E92 BMW M3 or a C6 Corvette Z06?
The E92 M3 is a fun car. I'm not sure.
I drove one that had suspension on it, and it felt good and sharp, but the guy that had it, he's like, the first week I had this thing, it felt way heavier and slower to turn in than his previous E36. Like, and the Z06 out of the box, like, it's ready to go.
Yeah. I would actually say like a last gen Camaro Z28. And if you want to talk like track toy, like that comes with The 7-liter that comes with the sweet shocks, that comes with everything.
And better cooling than a Corvette.
Because really, what you care about with track use is not how fast you can go, it's how long you can keep going fast.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to make sure that all the cooling is set up to run at track stuff. So
That's true.
that would be the primary concern for track toys.
I would say that like an M3 with like a nice suspension setup can be like a very playful, fun car if you want to slide around, if you want some, like, you don't really want to be loose in a Z06.
No.
If you're loose in a Z06, it's happening at 100 miles an hour.
You don't have a lot of angle in those cars.
You also don't have a lot of steering
They don't
angle.
like oversteer. Not at all.
So if you want to chase a lap time, you know, Corvette, or like Carlos said, definitely look into Z28s. But the M3s are a lot of fun as well. Lakshya Pratap says, I love the content. Any suggestions for a rear-wheel drive car for street and occasional track use? I've been looking at 350Zs and 335, 135Is. The 135s are underrated and awesome.
Yeah, those were pretty sweet cars.
Street occasional track.
Street occasional track. He doesn't give a budget, so with those cars, I'm guessing 20, 25?
Let's call it 20.
$20,000 rear drive coupe.
I mean, look, nothing new under the sun, homie. Mustangs, Camaros, you know, are durable.
350Z has an aftermarket. Nobody really likes those engine sounds. You know how that engine sounds, right?
There's a way to make them bearable. You have to do, there's a full titanium exhaust with a single exit.
Yeah.
And it makes it bearable.
Yeah.
And I did a video with one where it had it, and it was okay. And it is possible to set those cars up decently.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
But they're kind of terrible out of the box.
Yes, they need some work.
They need a lot of work.
Yeah.
The
They're
130,
cheap,
the
which is good.
135i is nice. I think those are really underrated, and they're really fast.
I would imagine that the Nissan, though, would also probably be cheaper to run daily than any of the BMWs would be.
Probably.
I mean, Miata, right? But he doesn't seem to be in that camp. He seems like he wants some more powerful.
A little more power than that. I mean, I would throw Mustangs in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
you have the same setup challenges, but you would have a better sounding car.
You can go a long way in a Mustang GT with doing a basic like shock and spring from Ford Racing combo and square stance wheels and tires. It goes a really long way.
And as you know, as much we may complain about like solid rear axle in a Mustang, it would teach you to not have bad habits.
Yeah,
driving a rear drive car.
And people like Maximum Motorsports can really get a lot out of a solid rear axle with their fine tuning, unless the road is just like complete garbage.
Say if you could drive a stock Mustang GT fast, you could pretty much drive.
They brought out a 2014 that we talk about it all the time. Maximum Motorsports built a 2014 GT, just a basic one, with like I think was it 10 Gs, 10 Gs, 10 11 Gs worth of suspension, and the car was awesome. Yeah. And the whole car, for the car and the suspension, was probably under 25 grand. It was great,
dude.
And we beat the piss out of it. Yeah. We used it as a camera car, and it was an entrant in our contest, and we used it as a camera car. Perfect. It was great.
It was Lee Keen. He was our hot shoe for that. It was his favorite car to drive out of the 6 we had. And like there were cars that were faster, like the HGE, like GTR or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But you know, for just drivability and fun, he's like, this is amazing.
Honestly, and those drivability and fun are way more important than faster. Yeah. You know, unless you're actually in a race. Right.
I mean, some of those like 6-cylinder Mustangs, or like the recent ones, are kind of fast too. Like the 300 horsepower ones, those to set up nice are actually pretty solid.
Yeah, I wish they did a retro SVO package, like decal package on them.
Yeah,
that'd be really
I'm
rad.
sure somebody does.
Yeah,
you can probably Google that in 5 minutes. V36 Chris says, I prefer a 370Z Nismo over a new Supra. Am I wrong?
You do you, man.
I think yes.
I would not choose the 370Z. I haven't driven them back to back, but like, yeah, if you like it, you like it, man.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of those.
Yeah, me neither.
They don't do it for me. I would say the Supra is definitely a better car. And the Supra's brand new. 370Z they've been making since 2008.
The 350Z entered the U.S. market, I want to say, in 2002.
Yeah,
which is the year the Mark IV Supra ended production.
What year you got there, Zach? For 370s.
Let's see. 350Z was manufactured starting in 02.
Yep.
All right, 02 to 09. 02 to 09, and then 9 and up.
Right.
Yep.
So
all right,
350Z's
so 10
been
years.
around. This chassis has been around as long as the Supra's been gone.
Oh, no, that's fucking true and awful.
Think about
terrible. That's terrible.
But hey, if you like it, you like it.
Terrible.
I can't change it.
Steven says, Mike says, thoughts on an Evo 8 versus an Evo 9 as a daily and only car. Evo 8, aren't an Evo 8 and an Evo 9 almost exactly the same?
I don't... Ooh.
I mean, they're very subtle differences,
very
right?
There's a lot of Evo fanatics who could probably tell you
Is it
log.
Does he mean Evo 8 versus Evo 9 or Evo 8? I don't know. He said, are there other options at that price point? What is your advice for dailying an Evo? Keep it as close to stock as you can.
Yeah, there are 2 guys at our office who own Evos and pretty much just leave them sitting most of the time. They're not great dailies in the modern, context. They're pretty firm. They're pretty stiff. They're pretty clumsy.
Kind of buzzy.
Yeah, I mean they were crazy fast hot rods in their time, but nowadays it's what else?
If you were to give me 20 minutes and a racetrack to myself, especially a tight one like that Shenandoah, not a lot of fun. Not a lot more fun to be had.
An Evo would be fantastic.
Than an Evo on a track like that.
Yeah,
like
a lot
just
of fun.
Flinging it around, great fun. But I don't want to then drive home in it.
No, loud inside,
Buzzy.
Very buzzy.
The closest thing I think of is the modern STI, the current version of the STI is very much a car built in that same philosophy where it's very quick gearing.
Yeah.
You have to shift fast.
Rally
constantly.
car.
Yeah, it's delivers that experience. What was his other question though?
Real quick, the difference between those cars was basically the engine and a different turbo on the compressor side.
Okay.
America, we did not get the active yaw control, which they added in the Evo 9, but not here. So not
They
a
changed
ton
the
of
engine
difference.
though?
Here we got the MIVEC engine.
Oh, okay.
And then
pretty substantial difference, I think.
Different.
I guess that's more
aesthetic
substantial than meets the eye.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I honestly couldn't tell you the difference between one and the other in terms of how they drive. I'm sorry.
I don't know what they run, so it's tough to answer. I don't know how much a modern, Evo 8 or Evo 9 costs and classified, so it'd be tough to...
They bought them out at like 25 grand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
25
We'll refer
grand.
back to the previous
He
question.
says I'd want occasional track days / off-road.
Okay, well...
I mean, you want a rally? You want a
rally
rally car? Like you can get a Subaru.
Yeah.
Like
Take the bumpers off.
Yeah.
You're gonna shake that car apart.
Get
Those
a-
are stiff. Like yes, they are rally cars, but not not out of the box.
Like a real Evo rally car is like seam welded and has a cage.
and softer shocks, and,
true,
and
yeah.
replacing parts.
Wild card, Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. You could probably get a new one for about that money. And that thing would be a blast off-road.
And great on the track.
Great on a racetrack.
Hey, you make your track.
Yeah,
That's right. I make my own track, man.
Steven says, I need a fun car that can handle deep snow and dirt roads around Colorado. $30K and a stick. Thoughts on a Golf all-track with an, it says ARP, but I think it means APR tune, or just buy the WRX.
Deep snow. How deep?
Right.
Is the tough part.
Not that deep because he's talking about all-tracks and WRXs, not big trucks.
I mean, I don't know if the
Dirt roads.
Is there a name for the people who like lift the Subarus? Is that a does it have a
hipsters? No, I know what you mean. Like like an Outback on Team Dynamics wheels with like rally tires. Yeah,
Those are sweet. I think
lift
they're
your
cool.
WRX,
Do that.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you could build a Safari. You could build a 996 Porsche Safari car if you really wanted. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely build some kind of Safari car. But yeah, I mean, Subaru's rally cars. Build the one to suit like an Subaru XT Forester.
And there's probably way more of them in Colorado, so your support system with mods and shops will be way better and way bigger than the Volkswagen.
I totally forgot that they snuck a lot of turbo manuals into other Subaru products.
Yeah,
like
the Forester XT.
There's the what was the truck? The Baja.
Oh, the Baja.
Baja, yeah.
You get the Baja with the manual and turbo.
Bajas are like from people's cold dead hands. Good fucking luck. You look at an Outback
Seriously?
from an Outback from that generation and a Baja for that generation. A Baja is like 4 times the price.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
They couldn't give them away.
Yeah.
Now try. Good luck.
They found their market. They found
find
their
one.
audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Good luck. Randy G7. Actually, Steven should buy the world's nicest Subaru Baja and put in an STI engine.
Done.
For $30K, that's what he should do. Randy G7 says, Carlos, love your work. What happened to your hour-long Let's Geek Out deep dives on your channel? I want to see more of them.
Those were really fun to do, but they took a lot of time. I mean, it wasn't just
They're
like
an hour long.
Yeah, it wasn't just that. There was a lot of like prep where it was doing research in advance, preparing material, like thinking about how I'm going to flow from one thing to the next. I mean, it was largely stream of consciousness, but it was guided by prep work. And, you know, that would be a fun thing to do on a Saturday once a month. But then, you know, other things in life come up, and
I get it.
It was a passion project, and then it was like, okay, yeah, I got other things to do now.
Yep,
yeah.
I get it. I bet it was fun.
They were fun.
But work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have 7 days in a week.
Yep.
You must work.
Things came up that I'd rather do, to be honest.
Oh, Joseph likes my orange watch strap today. It's by a company called Rubber Bee, and he says it makes him want a creamsicle.
Nice. It matches my.
It does.
Mug.
It also matches the GMT hand on my watch, and it's a knockoff of the Rolex Oyster Flex bracelet, which you can't actually get in this color or on this watch. So, yeah, it's a fake, but it's awesome. The watch is real. Band is fake. MB is Frenchie. Hello. Oh no. Well, I don't know. I think Carlos is probably going to give us a diplomatic answer here, but your most and least favorite thing while working at Motor Trend? What was your best experience at Motor Trend?
We did so much cool stuff there. Honestly, when I came there, there wasn't much of a YouTube channel. Like, it was a thing I think left over. If I could be misremembering this, but nothing there was like what editorial would work on. It was all like old Motor Trend TV stuff. And I remember me and like 2 other guys who were there at the time, we were like, well, what if we just did videos about cars driving? And just had this kind of fresh approach from it. And that's where a lot of that stuff started and gained momentum. Like, it was really just that simple, that small of a team. And seeing that grow to where it is now, where it's like, oh, you turn on the TV and you see the channel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's cool to be at like the beginning of that.
What's really weird for me is that now when I see the magazine, Motor Trend magazine is so clearly like the behind the scenes at Motor Trend TV. Like, the whole magazine is like a BTS of like the TV show, it seems like.
You know, I think it's really cool what they've been able to do and how they got there. Seeing that was really neat.
Like, I don't think any other magazine is like, except for maybe Top Gear, and only in certain circumstances, is like putting the journalists like faces like all over it the way that Motor Trend is.
Yeah.
I think Johnny was on the fucking cover
really?
last weekend. I think he
didn't see it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'll give you a pass on least favorite thing. I won't make you shit on your old company on the air. That's just mean. Patrick says $5,000 for my first fun track toy. I have no truck or trailer. What should I look at? My daily is a 10th gen Civic Si. If you like Hondas, there's a lot of fun to be had in Honda track cars. A lot of fun.
I mean, if you're already driving a Civic Si, spend that money on prepping that thing.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can hammer the shit out of a Civic. There's no reason. Like, you could definitely make your Civic ready for the track. Like, $5,000 in that Civic will go way farther than $5,000 in another car.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to buy the car.
Yeah,
right?
and you could. What's the 10th gen? Is that that's 1 gen ago? Yeah, that's 1 generation ago is 10th gen. Yeah, dude, you could $5,000 and you get like coilovers, light wheels and good tires, and some brake pads, fluid, maybe stainless steel lines, and like you should drive that car on the track.
Buy tools.
Yeah.
Buy tires. Buy gas. Buy track time.
Yeah.
Buy track time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
all the money that you could spending on a car, you could be spending on track time.
Yeah.
And that's really what's going to make you go faster.
Yeah. And if you're not an idiot, you're not going to crash, really.
Yeah. Instead of spending money on the car or spend enough to get the basics up, buy instruction.
Yeah, driver mod.
True. Right? Yeah.
Instruction would go a very long way.
Yeah. Well, you take it with you when you sell the car.
True.
You know?
True. Anything else, Zach?
That's it.
Oh, that's all, huh? What do you got coming up next, dude?
Not much in terms of travel. We do have a couple things.
Good.
Yeah, we have a couple things bubbling up. We're doing a couple SUV comparisons for the YouTube channel for the site.
So hot right now.
They are so big right now.
Fucking Doug DeMuro said his like Kia Telluride video outdid his McLaren F1 video. That's how I know it's the end of days.
We had a lot of success with our Telluride content too.
Did you like Telluride?
I like Telluride.
Is that what you were driving last time you were here?
No, what was I driving?
Somebody came by in a Telluride.
It's a nice car. Have you seen it inside?
We had one for Mark and I had one for that shoot.
Oh yeah, you guys had it right. Yeah, it's nice, right?
Yeah, it was nice.
It's real nice.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's too big for me, but very nice. I should bug Kia about that. I liked Veloster N a whole lot.
Veloster N is rad.
Veloster N with the diff is really, really nice. That was very fun.
We got a comparison with that and the Civic Type R coming out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Veloster N's like a lot cheaper than Civic R.
Yeah.
And it's probably almost as fast, right?
That's the question, isn't it? Is the price difference worth it?
I mean, they're still getting. I would have never ever guessed that they are still getting like 10 over for Civic Type R.
Are they still?
Anecdotally, it seems they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't walked into many Honda dealers, but it seems they are.
Yeah.
Did you drive Veloster on track or on just roads?
Everything.
Both. Okay, cool.
How was it on the track?
It's really fun. Really fun. It feels fast.
It does feel fun. It's fun to drive. How does it
felt
handle?
fast in a canyon.
Was it warm temp or cold temp, like ambient?
It was normal temp.
Okay. How did it handle like lap
Fine.
after lap after lap?
Totally fine. Yeah, actually, we ran out of tires before anything else.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It felt like to me, if you lament the loss of the Fiesta ST in America, this is the logical next step.
Or
for
if you want
for
something
that.
a little more rowdier than a GTI, you know, like, and also the tech on this on the Veloster N is like pretty good. The rev matching works really well.
And it has the like an M mode, like a BMW. Like it's they definitely did some good copying of BMW on certain things.
Well, you know,
they got the guy.
They got the guy. Yeah, no
Bierman,
surprise,
is that
right?
his name? Bierman?
Albert Bierman.
Yeah.
It's no surprise. I mean, they did their job right in doing the hot hatch transformation.
I haven't seen one like in a regular color yet. I've only seen them in Psycho Death Blue.
Press cars is all blue.
Oh, the red is pretty good. I like the red.
Yeah, I like the red because the
red
highlights
works.
become black.
Yeah.
I wish you could get a like white or gray and have those things be black.
That's a good shot of the blue one in the background. Like I didn't realize that.
Black's
is
pretty
good.
cool.
Black's good with the red trim. I like the black. It's Supra. It really matters what color you're looking at.
Yes.
That car can be very good looking or very heinous looking.
Depends on color and angle.
Black is really nice.
Yeah.
That matte gray, which I forget how much they're charging for that, but that was nice.
That was nice. I like the white.
White was solid.
Yeah.
The red was not so good.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I ended up driving most of.
Me
the
too.
blue was okay.
Yeah.
The dark blue was all right.
I think definitely gray and white are at the top.
Because those the fake vents are black no matter
masks
what.
them, yeah.
So the black hides it. The gray kind of works,
it,
and the white it kind of
It's a contrast.
It's a stormtrooper thing, but in the red it doesn't work.
I don't think. Yeah, I agree.
There's the gray, which I think that's a very complimentary color. That looks very nice.
That's not a great angle though.
Not my favorite angle.
No.
I kind of once I started driving it though, I sort of stopped caring how it looked.
Absolutely. I mean,
that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, I stopped caring about so many things about that car when I started driving it. You know, because I remember when that thing first came out, I read the specs and I was like, "You're kidding me, right?"
Yeah.
When I look at all the BMW stuff and I look at the exterior design, and I start driving it, I'm like, "No, this is great.
It drives nice."
I'll take this.
Yeah.
I think there's also very few cars that truly look good from every angle, like every single 360 degree. Like it's, you know.
Also, modern
it
cars.
exists.
I mean, I think the last most like beautiful, honestly beautiful modern car, right?
You see that McLaren GT?
I haven't seen it
It's
yet.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
I saw it in the flesh, but I couldn't tell anybody.
Oh, really?
It was I had to like NDA that shit, and I kind of got in a little bit of trouble for saying that I saw it and that it fit a pair of skis in the back, and they made me.
Did I see people complaining about that on Twitter or something about this thing's existence?
Yeah, I think that it's weird. You know, if a company only ever does one thing, then they suck, and if a company tries to do new things, and then they suck.
Yeah.
You know, I think what McLaren's trying to do here is very interesting. This is the most luggage space ever offered in a mid-engine car.
That's rad.
Well, that's fucking
really
cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
I mean, look, between you can fit golf clubs in the back.
Yeah.
You can fit golf clubs, skis, or a surfboard in the back. That's pretty rad.
That's rad.
I would love. Is that surfboard? That looks like surfboard.
No, it's just the interior, but it just shows that it's open going all the way through.
it's a weird photo. It looks like something. Yeah, it's got like a lot of space, and so fuck yeah, I'd put snow tires on that thing and go skiing. Totally.
That's rad.
Why wouldn't you? That sounds awesome. So I don't know. I think they wanted to make a car because look, you're just as likely to go on a road trip as you are on a track day.
You're way more likely to be driving a car, any car, sports car, otherwise on the road than you are at the track.
Yeah.
You still have to drive to the track.
Right.
Right. Like. Yeah.
But, so they've got a road-oriented car.
Awesome.
They could have built a crossover, right?
They already built the P1. Come on.
Yeah, right. They've got a Senna. You know what I mean? They can't
they've
only
got the Senna. Yeah,
They can't only build Sennas.
You want an SUV Senna?
Right.
And this looks really. I mean, the profile looked great.
It's a very
got a great
attractive
design,
car.
very attractive car. It's probably going to drive really well, be really fast, and you can bring the stuff with you.
Yo, and the interior's made of
You know, what's
cashmere.
wrong with that? Any Tears Made of Cashmere?
Tears Made of Cashmere, bro.
What are people mad about?
Because that's the fucking shit.
Like, really, I don't.
What could you possibly be mad about?
I don't
Someone
know.
tried to make an argument to me today that GT cars are supposed to be front engine, and I just said why, and then there was no response. Why does a GT car need to be front engine?
Well, if you read the rules about GTs, man.
Oh, it's true.
I mean,
it's in the Constitution.
Check the byline.
No, I mean, what
like,
is the McLaren? What's the speed tail like?
Yeah.
This, I'm not as sold on because it's like.
Pull that picture over.
I mean, it's crazy and it's amazing and all that stuff, but the GT makes perfect sense.
I like almost everything about the speed tail except the fact that there's different wheels on it, on the front and the rear.
Oh, that's right.
I know why they're doing that. I get it, but I just think it looks weird. But it's McLaren, so McLaren has an interesting philosophy about shit. When they do something weird like that, like clear doors in the Senna or mismatched wheels, or the 720S has the glass flying buttresses, like they just go, "Is there any reason we can't do this?"
Yeah.
And then if nobody raises their hand, like legally, they're like, "All right, glass doors in the Senna, fuck it."
Much rather have that than than build a boring by the numbers car, right?
Yeah, I don't think the glass doors look great.
No, but also you're not buying one.
I'm not buying one.
I'm not buying one.
No. But I hope to drive a very long distance in a GT, in a McLaren GT.
That'd be nice.
That seems. I mean, I drove a 570 GT around Iceland, like a 4-day road trip in it.
That's cool.
And we packed. It was me and Tom Morningstar. We packed my suitcase, his suitcase, a Sony F55 camera, tripod, an entire triangulation rig with GoPros in that car, and we lived out of that car for 4 days.
That's awesome.
And this car has like way more luggage space than that.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's great.
Yeah. I think I'm going to fill it with shit and go skiing. I'm literally calling. I'm going to call up Laura and be like, "Yo, skiing.
Right now.
Snow
Let's
tires
go.
this winter. It's on." Other than Edmunds, do you want to promote anything or
Just Edmunds.
just
If you're
Edmunds?
shopping for a car, go to Edmunds.com.
Watch Carlos's videos. He's very handsome.
YouTube.com/Edmunds. Subscribe. Watch.
EDMUNDS. Edmunds.
We've got a lot of good stuff up lately.
Oh, it's all about Gladiator and Ranger. And
We did a lot of truck stuff. A lot of Gladiator.
Is Gladiator exactly what I expect? If I set some expectations of Gladiator, is Gladiator going to surprise me in any way?
I mean, probably not.
Okay,
But it is that thing done really well.
that's good.
Right.
I'm waiting until they come into the regular fleets, till all the the important people are done with them, and then we're going to do a thing.
It's more than a Wrangler with a bed, but
It is more than a Wrangler with a bed.
yeah, I mean, it depends on how deep into Jeep you are, right? Like how much into that world.
Sell me on how deep into Jeep I need to be to see that as more than a Wrangler with a bed. I'm not trying to be that cynical.
Sure.
I think it looks nice, but like,
Do you like the idea of like actually going crawling, like actually going up trails that you couldn't do in other cars?
I like
truck.
the idea that someone makes a vehicle for that. It's not my personal favorite thing to do, but
that-
is it better at that than a regular Jeep, a regular Wrangler?
No, it's actually worse in some ways because it's so long.
Oh, okay.
So you get your breakover height's reduced because of how long it is, but there's no other truck that can do that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. So it's the only pickup that can crawl. That's the thing.
I mean, you get a medium-sized truck on the Rubicon edition, you get disconnectable sway bars, right? Like,
oh, okay, that makes
that kind
sense.
of stuff makes sense.
I
For
get
that,
it. Yeah.
For that.
I do think
level
more
of driving.
medium-sized pickup trucks are good.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think that someone who wants a pickup truck should not be forced into a Tacoma
For sure.
or a half ton.
Yeah,
There
Colorado is really good.
I'd like to try Colorado too.
Colorado's really nice.
I actually get a Ram next week.
Oh yeah, which kind?
It's like a 1500 like super. It's probably 80 grand. It's like the super luxury edition of the
Ram
Ram.
is nice.
I got to move Hannah back from San Francisco.
Okay.
So we're putting like furniture in the back of it.
Yeah, we own a Ram at the office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have one in our long-term fleet. Yeah,
Is that it right there? Is it like the super off-roady one?
No, that's the Power Wagon. That's 2500
Oh right.
Power
Yeah.
Wagon. Our Ram is white, and that thing is super nice. Every time that's open on the sheet, I'm driving it.
Everyone has told me that if you're going to spend 10 hours on the highway in a pickup truck, the Ram is the
By far.
only choice.
Yeah, it's a nice truck.
Yeah.
It's a real nice truck.
Cool. I'm excited. I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out how to make a video with it that's remotely interesting, but whatever.
How nice of an interior
How
is.
nice
Like,
of an interior.
If you're getting like the crazy luxury edition, you
Yeah.
will be genuinely surprised.
Yeah, this
if you
all
haven't been
came
inside one
from
yet.
single family of cows.
One of my
this
colleagues
one's name
refers
was-
to it a dead cow museum.
Yeah, right. Oh, I like that. Like, who's it? Not the SRT Jeep had a special. It's like a
Dead cow version.
I don't know. It's like that King Ranch leather. It's that awesome, saddle, whatever the fuck leather.
There was a last gen Ram that would have big old belt buckles on the back, the seat backs. It was hilarious. They were
Texas
so great.
edition.
I loved it. It's so great.
Oh my God! All right, Edmunds. Go to Edmunds for your things. Feel better, Carlos.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, fighting through your cold.
Now you're all sick.
Yep. It's
Perfect.
the lemon cake, though.
Great.
I might have to eat one more of those before we go because that's delicious.
Yeah, I'm leaving them here. I got to take the Tupperware. I got in trouble last time.
You're not. I'm gonna wait till you leave and then throw them in the garbage.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not taking that shit home.
And you can't just leave the cakes on the table.
You can't leave.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. That's it. That's our show. What is our next show? Johnny's in here on Monday, and with maybe. Although he texted me today and said Monday is a maybe. I'm gonna confer over the weekend, but as of right now, 6 p.m. Pacific. Johnny and Jethro, of Head to Head, not just two guys and head, but it's head to head. Those are the things. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. Buy our t-shirts at Blip Shift for the next week or two, and that's it. I'm gonna go pick up my wife from the airport. Bye, guys.
Bye.